Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srimati Gaura Bhattavin Jaya Sri Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री राम कृष्ण ठाकुर की जय। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Thank you all for joining. And actually, so I thought to start Krishna book. So I'll show you that book actually. So can you see the book?
Yes.
So this book is called as Krishna book, or the personality of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is actually got 90 chapters. So I'll tell you a story about it actually. So this is the book has Prabhupada has written before. Actually, what happened is he was compiling Srimad Bhagavatam. So, but he was actually not having good wealth as well. So he thought that, if I will not be able to compile whole Srimad Bhagavatam, and in case, I have to leave my body, then my disciples will be, they won't be get the nectar of this Bhagavatam. That is the 10th canto. So this whole book, what I showed you right now, it actually a 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And that is called as Ashraya. Many, there are 10 topics are discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the last topic is called as Ashraya. So as we discussed, in Bhagavad Gita, it gives us about 5 topics, and so Bhagavatam gives us 10 topics of that, So from that 10th canto is basically Prabhupada has recommended that you should be actually reading Srimad Bhagavatam from canto 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then goes to 10th canto, because 10th canto is actually very, very secret thing. To understand that 10th canto, we should be going through other cantos as well, so that we have a firm conviction that Krishna is the Supreme Godhead. And now I'm going to understand about him in a pure way. And when we read this cantos step by step, then actually we understand more and more and more about Krishna when we go to 10th canto. However, as said, Prabhupada thought that if my body has to get away, or I have to leave my body, then my disciples won't be able to read this book. So that's why in the middle, he actually translated the content of Canto 10 into a book called as Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this again have everything what is in the Bhagavatam. So it actually summarizes, there are no much more slokas in this book. However, the content are all same. And this is just as one nice volume of book by which we can know or understand about the 3 Leelas, three normal pastimes in when he came into this world. And first one is known as Braja Lila, or Braja means the Vrindavan. We know Mathura Vrindavan, so that's Vrindavan. So one is the Braja Lila or Vrindavan Lila, and second is Mathura, and what the pastimes he did in Mathura, like killing of Kamsa and all others, many kings and demons. And then last nearly 40 to 40 chapters of this book, Prabhupada mentioned about the Dwarika Lila, where Krishna went to Dwarika and he has so many wives there, and then he came back for Kurukshetra war, and then he went back again to Dwarika. So all this has been described in there. So this is the one book I think I haven't seen anywhere else in this book, in this today's world. So this book actually comprises of every pastimes what Krishna has did, from his birth till his disappearance, and all the pastimes in Mathura, Vrindavan, and Dwarika. And it is being said in this Bhagavatam as well that just by hearing, we understand it every day, just by hearing about Lord Krishna, we actually get attached to him. So it's same like, it's because our intention is actually to love Krishna and to serve Krishna. So serving maybe in a different way, as we discussed earlier as well, the 5 rasas by which we can serve Krishna: Santa, Dasya, Shakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. These are the 5. There are 12 actually, but there are 5 are prime rasas. So normally by which we do service to Krishna, either as a lover, as a parent, as a friend, or as a neutral. So it's basically, let's suppose in this today's world, we can understand that, if we have a partner or a lover, then actually when we wanted to know more and more and more about the person, isn't it? So it's the other way around. Even it doesn't matter, but you want to know, okay, what he likes, what he drink, what he, what kind of color he choose to wear, and what he want to go where, and what he does, and what are the friends like. So that is how we know more and more about our partner. In a similar way, as we wanted to love Krishna in a different rasas, we wanted to know more and more and more about Krishna. Krishna is called as unlimited, and he came in many different avatars, but at the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ete chamsa kalapamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swam Indradi Vyakulim Lokam Murtiyanti Yuge Yuge. So all the incarnations, when we go to Srimad Bhagavatam on Friday, where we are going, so that also we can understand that. And Shukadev Goswami actually has described all the incarnations of Krishna, like, Rama, Narsimha, Vara, and everything. After that, he says that all these incarnations were actually are the Ete Chamsa Kalapumsa. These are actually expansion of Krishna himself. And Krishna, who came in Vrindavana, he is complete Krishna. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. And everything, every other are his expansion or his planetary expansions. That was, that's Srimad Bhagavatam explains about that. So Krishna, when we say Krishna, he is full attractive. And we also discussed about the opulences of Krishna, the 6 Aishwaryas. So Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Veerasya, Ishashriya, Jnana, Vairagam, Chaiva, Sannam, Bhaga, Itingana. So the 6 opulences we discussed last week, that is, let's revise it: Sakti and Dhana, strength, wealth, Yasha, beauty, and then knowledge and renunciation. We find these 6 opulences in Krishna incomplete. So no one else in this world can possess these 6 opulences incomplete. Anyone can have one or two of them, but in a minute as well. He cannot say that I'm complete beauty of this world, or I have the whole wealth of this world, or I'm the strongest person in this world, kind of that. He might have some power or some fame, but he cannot say that I am completely having full strength of that. But Krishna, he has these opulences incomplete. So he's unlimited. So when we know about him, we reveal something in our heart. And as in discussed in Srimad Bhagavatam, the first sloka, Krishna says, I actually impart knowledge in the heart of the devotees. So he actually has given the knowledge to Brahma. So to Brahma, he created all this universe. Tene Brahma Hridayad Kaviye. Right, that's the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is the essence why I'm saying that we should be understanding more and more about Krishna. By listening to him, just by hearing about him, we get attached, and gradually we elevate towards devotion of this Lord Krishna. And one more announcement actually today, I might forget it. So this Friday, actually we are going to hear a very nice 1-hour lecture about the holy name. Every time we discuss about that, we should be chanting the holy name, isn't it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is actually a mantra for this Kali Yuga, and by which actually we can revive our own relationship with Lord Krishna. So this Friday we are going to have a special class. We are going to hear a lecture. I'll say on the Friday, and there we will be understanding about the glories of chanting holy name. Why shall we chant holy name? Right, keep in mind that I might forget, so I just told right now. So having said that, let's start with the introduction of this book. So this book, or this Canto 10, or the book called Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, it actually has 90 chapters. So what will happen is, if you remember in our last Bhagavatam class, in last week we had a Bhagavatam class on Friday, and there we discussed about the 6 questions of Sonakadi Rishi. They asked to Suta Goswami in the place of Naimisharanya. And one of the questions was, like, why did Krishna appear in the womb of Mother Devaki, or as a son of Vasudeva? Right, this was one of the questions. So, out of 6 questions. So, at the 9th canto, nearly in ending of 9th canto, Sri Sukadeva Goswami, he actually described a dynasty of Yadu, like, Yadu Kula, or we can, the dynasty of moon god and sun god, both he described in a proper way. Like he said, okay, from here, from this king, and from this kind of all, Kula of Lord Rama and Kula of Lord Krishna. So he described. And he just described in a very, very few verses about Krishna Lila and why he came. However, Parikshit Maharaj, he said, I wanted to hear more about Lord Krishna. He told that, hearing of Krishna Lila is the boat by which to achieve the ultimate goal of life. Right. So that is why, except, it's being said, except, hear it, attention please. He said, except for an animal killer or one who is following a policy of suicide, every intelligent must strive to understand Krishna and his activities. I repeat. So that was Sukadeva Goswami said. What he says, hearing of Krishna Lila is the boat by which we can achieve the ultimate goal of our life. And who don't want to listen this Krishna Lila? He said, the one who is animal killer or one who is actually following a policy of suicide. It means the suicide here is not the suicide of body. It's talking about the suicide of the soul, because we know soul doesn't die. But why it's saying suicide of the soul? It's because the soul, when in the human form, it actually meant to elevate toward the higher planet, or actually toward Krishna Loka. But unless until we hear about Krishna, how can we achieve that? That's why he's saying the people who are trying to go towards the suicide of the soul, or it means called a soul killer, they don't listen these things. Otherwise, every intelligent person must try to understand Krishna by his activities, just by hearing. Hearing has so much effect in our body that, just that's why Prabhupada says, when we chant the mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sometimes we say that, we struggle to concentrate or meditate. That's why Prabhupada says, don't worry about that. Just try to hear the vibration. Whatever you speak from your mouth, just try to hear from your ears. That is it. And so Bhagavatam says, this pastimes of Krishna, this is nectar and should be drank through the ears. And also Srimad Bhagavatam, in the middle, it explains that, if we do not hear Srimad Bhagavatam or about the Krishna Lila, our ear holes will actually just become the places of serpent or the snakes. So that is why hearing about Krishna is very, very, very important. And just by hearing, we can actually go back to Goloka Vrindavan. Because when you hear it, we actually sometime after, if you start hearing for continuously for a month, he start loving about Krishna, and as he's unlimited, he starts giving you more and more and more. It's basically, actually I was listening to one of the lecture of my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj, he said that, this is the proof that you are, you're progressing in your spiritual path. What the proof? That you are getting taste about hearing about Lord Krishna and chanting your rounds every day. So we might say, okay, the chanting of mantra, is the same mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And why to chant it every day? So because when we chant every day, it means actually it gives us a new taste every day. It's always fresh, because there is no difference between the name of the Lord and the Lord himself. Even on the Friday, we will understand it. Even the name is actually more important or more have power than Krishna himself. So see, Krishna, he expanded himself in a form of boar, in a form of Nrsimhadev, Rama, and even just to save Panchali or Draupadi, he incarnated in the form of cloth. See, Dusasan, he was trying to pull the sari of a lady. Normally if you see a sari is just about 4 to 5 meters, but he is pulling the sari for hours and hours. And Krishna expanded himself in the form of sari to save his devotee. And as Krishna is unlimited, the sari became unlimited, and Dusasan could not pull the sari. Imagine it. So it's being said that Dusasan has a power of pulling thousands of elephants, but imagine he could not disrobe a lady just by saris. And it means Bhagavatam says that Draupadi was just only on one dress or one cloth. Imagine. So Krishna expanded himself in the form of sari because Draupadi called him. He said, Krishna, hey Keshav, hey Govinda, please help me out. And that's Krishna came up. That single name of Krishna can elevate us to very, very higher planet, So we'll understand it very detailed way on our coming Friday. So going back to this book. So that is how its summary was on Canto 9. And then Parikshit Maharaj wanted to hear more about Krishna. And then it's described that Krishna has threefold pastimes. The first is Braja Lila, as I said. Braja means Vrindavan Lila. And then the second is Mathura Lila. And the third is Dwarika Lila. So this 10th canto or Srimad Bhagavatam, or this Krishna book, has actually 90 chapters. And the first 4 chapters describes the prayers by Brahma and other Devi Devatas to relieve the earth's burden, and they are also described the appearance of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the first 4 chapters where we will going to discuss about how the Mother Earth actually approached Brahma, Lord Brahma, and then she cried out that I am in distress, please help me out. And then Lord Brahma with taking within Lord Shiva and Indra and others, they went onto the shore of Shudaksha Vishnu, and then they prayed to them, to pray to Lord that please help us out here. And then we'll understand those things. And then chapter 5 through 39, it describes about the pastime of Vrindavana, like how Krishna killed so many demons, how he made, give pleasure to the gopas, to gopis, to Mother Yashoda, to Nanda Maharaj, and all the cowherd boys. That's been described from there. And from 40th chapter, it describes about the Akrura prayers, like offering a prayer to Krishna in the Yamuna. And then from 41 to 51, it tells about the Krishna's pastimes in Mathura, or we say as Mathura Lila. And then the rest from 52 to till 90, it's the pastimes of Dwarika. So these are the 3 division of Krishna Lila: Vrindavan, Mathura, and Dwarika. And as it's being said, the Bhagavatam says that Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. We'll go on to that. Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, though he actually went to Mathura and Dwarika, but he never leaves that Vrindavan. That we'll discuss on chapter 40. And in between that, the most important topic or the Asra part comes in the Rasa dance. This consists of 5 chapters from 29 to 33, and here describes about all the gopis who actually took part in the Rasa Lila of Lord Krishna, and they all are elevated. And we'll understand about that, who were those gopis who actually are eligible to dance with Lord Krishna. It's not like anyone can dance with Krishna. They were so much elevated, pious rishis in previous lives. They actually came and had association of Krishna over there. We'll go into those step by step. So as of now, is it okay? Is it clear what we are going to understand about these things?
Yes, it is clear.
I think the voice is clear today, or is it breaking as well?
Voice is clear. Your voice is very clear. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, I got a different headphone today this time.
Okay. That's
might
good.
Be because
voice is clear today.
Because many times I heard that it's breaking, so it's hard to catch up if it's breaking actually. So that's nice to hear that it's clear. So this is how it describes about the Krishnas, the summary of the whole book. And let's actually go on to the first chapter now. So first chapter, King Parishit said, "My dear Lord, you actually elaborately described the dynasty of both moon god and sun god with exalted and wonderful characters of their king." So it's being said there are two dynasty goes, like one is in moon god and one is sun god. So Yadu dynasty, which actually belongs to Soma or moon god, and in Yadu dynasty Lord Krishna appeared, right? Although the planetary systems are so arranged that sun comes first, Prabhupada writes, the sun comes first before the moon, Parishit Maharaj gave more respect to the dynasty of moon god or Soma Vansa, because in that Lord Krishna has appeared. And in Soma Vansa, Lord Ram has appeared earlier. So Prabhupada writes that there are two different Kshatriya families, and one who came from the moon planet and second came from the sun dynasty. So when the Supreme Personality of God appears, he generally appears in the Kshatriya family because he came to establish religious principles and life of righteousness. So we understand in our Bhagavad Gita session as well. So we should be actually following religious principles, and we should be analyzing our activities. Is it right or wrong? So that is how we elevate to our next level. And as I discussed, Lord Rama, he actually appeared in Surya Vansa, and Krishna in Yadu Vansa. So just try to make note or keep it with you, these small things, so that we understand it properly and grasp it in a way. So if you feel that I'm going fast, then you can ask me. We'll go more slower than that as well, right? So it's explained in Bhagavatam 9th chapter, where Sukadeva Goswami says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, known as Lila Purushottam, appeared as the son of Vasudeva, but immediately left his father's home and went to Vrindavan to expand his loving relationship with his confidential devotees, right? And in Vrindavan, the Lord killed many demons, and afterward he returned to Dwarika, where, according to the Vedic principles, he married many wives who were the best of women, begot through them hundreds of sons, and performed sacrifices for his own worship to establish the principle of household life. So Prabhupada here, he mentions that though Krishna had so many wives, but we should not be understanding that in the wrong way. Krishna had some different mood to perform of that. He wanted to satisfy so many previous, sages, and he wanted to fulfill their wishes. It's happened like, in Ramachandra, when he was in Ramachandra avatar. So many of the sages, they wanted to have association of Lord Rama, but Lord Rama says, I am just one Patni Vrata this time, so I'll have just one wife. And when I come in my next, incarnations, or as a Krishna, then I will fulfill all of your desires. So Krishna has nothing to do with these things. He just did to fulfill the desires of his devotees. He doesn't fulfill the desire of his own. So there's two things to understand. One is fulfilling of desire of our own self. That is another thing. But Krishna has no desire. He can fulfill his, because he is thousands and thousands of Lakshmi Pati. Lakshmi are serving to his lotus feet. So just to fulfill the desire of devotees, he did it. Right. And then Parishad Maharaj says, so please describe these wonderful activities of Vishnu or Krishna, who actually appeared in that Yadu dynasty with Baladeva, means Balaram. Actually, Balaram has actually came earlier than Krishna. And one of the devotee was actually saying a nice pastime here. And then in Lord Rama, Lakshmana was there, isn't it? So Lakshmana is again Sankarshan, and he was younger than Lord Rama. And Lakshmana has to obey all the orders of Lord Rama in that pastime, in the previous yuga. So why? And the devotee says, Lakshmana got angry, and he said, don't worry, next time I will come as your elder brother. So this time Baladeva, he came as elder brother of Lord Krishna. And then Parishad Maharaj asked that, please elaborately describe about the glorious activities and characteristics from the beginning to the end of his life. And he also said that, please describe whatever I have asked you, also describes which I have missed to ask you. You are the knower of everything, Sukadeva Goswami. So it might happen that I might not ask some questions or I miss some questions, but how, please, you describe me everything. And then Prabhupada writes, anyone who becomes even slightly interested in Krishna Katha is liberated. And in Bhagavatam it says, Kritnad eva Krishna shya mukta sangha param brajayit. Right. Simply by chanting or repeating the Krishna Katha, one is liberated from the contamination of Kali Yuga. So see, because Krishna is actually he is called as Adokshaja. Adokshaja means he's evoked from the mode of nature, the three modes: Sati Yoga, mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. We are actually contaminated with this mode of nature. However, Krishna is above that, and if we start associating our own self with Krishna by hearing the Krishna Katha, definitely we are getting elevated from this mode of nature as well. That is why chanting or hearing of Krishna Katha is much, much important. And then he said that, please describe about all these pastimes, and a person who are actually elevated, they never cease hearing about such glorification of Lord. And even Parishad Maharaj says, he, as we discussed earlier, just only a butcher or a one who wanted to kill his own self don't want to listen about Krishna Katha. Rest everyone wants it. And so Narottam Das Thakur, he says very nice, very nice song he wrote. There it says, Manusya janma paiya Radha Krishna na bhajiya janiya suniya bisa khaino. It's in Bengali. I'll repeat. He says, Manusya janma paiya means by getting the janma of Manusya, which is actually very, very rare. And Radha Krishna na bhajiya. If he doesn't sing about the Radha and Krishna, janiya suniya bisa khaino means by knowingly we are eating poison. That Narottam Thakur says. So anyone who is not Krishna consciousness and who therefore does not engage in the service of the Lord is also Pashugna, for he is willingly drinking poison, right? So normally, actually, Prabhupada writes there normally people, they are engaged mostly on dharma, artha and kama, like, dharma is following religions principles to get, artha is just money, home, and everything, and then he start enjoying it or sense gratification for that. But when we do this, we are actually always entangled in the cycle of birth and death, right? And then there is explained that, by taking the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, and Parishad Maharaj says that, with the help of Lord Lotus feet, my grandfather Arjuna and others, they have crossed the ocean of battlefield of Kurukshetra, in which such commanders as Vishmadev resembled great fish that could very easily have swallowed them. But by the mercy of Lord Krishna, my grandfather crossed this ocean, which was very difficult to cross, as easily as one steps over the footprint of a calf. So actually, it was Parishad Maharaj was discussing later on, and then he said that, I think that the opponent, the Bhishmadeva, he was a great warrior. Even there was Dronacharya. How could these Pandavas could have, defeat them? It's only because of Krishna was in our side. And there was a story there. It says, it says that, I think it was the son of Bhima or someone. He was saying that, I have seen that my fathers or my grandfathers, they haven't fought. It actually, the Sudarshan Chakra was cutting all the heads over there. He could see that, the hands of Krishna in everywhere there. So that is how we should be seeing that, hands of Krishna in everywhere. And even in later on in the 10th chapter, it's been described, for one who has accepted the boat of lotus feet of Krishna, who is the shelter of this cosmic manifestation, is famous as Murari, or the enemy of Mura demon. The ocean of material world is like the water contained in the calf's hoof friend. His goal is Parampadam or Vaikuntha, the place where there is no material miseries, not the place where there is a danger at every step. So in this world, material world, we have danger at every steps. But Vaikuntha means, Kunta means actually miseries, and Vai means opposite of misery. So there is no misery in, that's why it's called Vaikuntha. In the spiritual world, there is no misery, no birth, no death, no disease, and no old age. You always remain young and servicing to Krishna. That is how it is happening. And as even in Bhagavad Gita also says, Krishna says, if you surrender to me, aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasi masucha. So be assured that I will actually take away all of your sins. Right. And then Parishad Maharaj says that, please describe about the pastimes what Krishna had did as in Vrindavan, and how could Vasudeva transferred Krishna to Vrindavan, to Nanda Babas, and also please describe about how the Balarama, or the first expansion, he actually being transferred from Mother Devaki to the womb of Mother Rohini, and please describe all this as well. And Sukadeva Goswami said, you have actually asked a very, very nice topic to discuss, because the topics of Vasudeva is certain that your intelligence is firmly fixed in spiritual understanding. So when we hear, because Parishad Maharaj is listened towards 9th canto already, and there he have shown that how this all the devotees like Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj and Ambrish Maharaj, Gajendra, how they have been saved by Lord Krishna. So his mind was fully fixed, and even he heard about how Kunti Maharani, he actually glorified Krishna, how Bhishmadev glorified Krishna, and now he is asking about more and more. And then Sukadeva Goswami says a very, very nice thing, He says, as the Ganges water purify the whole three worlds, and similarly, the Krishna Katha purifies three things as well, three persons as well. First one is one who speaks about the Krishna Katha. So the heart of the person is being purified by that. And the second, he says, the one who is in the class, listening attentively and asks questions. And the third, he says, whoever present by hearing the Krishna Katha are being purified. As Ganges purified the whole three worlds, in a similar way, the Srimad Bhagavatam or hearing about Krishna Katha purifies just by hearing the Katha, right? So what happened now? So actually, because of the demonic nature, demons people were actually growing more and more. Once Mother Earth was overburdened by hundreds and thousands of military praklets of various concerned demons like Kamsa and others. So she approached. She took a form of a cow, and in a very distressed way, she approached to Lord Brahma and said that please help me, please, I am very much distressed, so please help me, and please take out my misfortune. And by hearing those from Mother Earth, and as she was from a cow and crying, so first she was Mother Earth, and then she took a form of cow and she was crying before Lord Brahma. And then Lord Brahma, by hearing this distress from the Mother Earth, he actually went to Lord Shiva and to other demigods or other devatas, and they approached the shore of ocean of milk, where Shri Vishnu was actually lying there. And then, so there is a mantra called as Purusha Sukta mantras. So the Vedic mantra, the Purusha Sukta mantra, has been actually recited by these, Devi Devatas for glorifying or asking Lord Vishnu. And once they started glorifying this, and Lord Brahma, he heard a sound vibration within his heart again. Like Lord Brahma, actually, they started praying to Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Brahma, he sat down and meditated, and then started praying with the Purusha Sukta mantras. And then Krishna, Vishnu, within his heart, he gives some instructions to him. He said, okay, I knew this very well. So my instruction is that, you all go and take birth. Ask that all the Devi Devatas, they go and take birth in Vrindavan, and I will be appearing there. So the point here is, at the time where Krishna came, it's not that normal persons will get association of Krishna. All the Devi Devatas, they came there as gopis and gopas and sakhas in Vrindavan. They took birth earlier as well, before Krishna's coming. And then then Lord Brahma, after hearing this, he said the same thing to everyone. He said, before we submit our petition to Lord, he was already aware of the distress on earth. So consequently, for as long as the Lord moves on the earth to diminish his burden by his own potency in the form of time, all of you demigods should appear through planetary persons as son and grandsons in the family of Yadus. So the all Yadu dynasty at that time were actually all Devi Devatas, right? So that is how they came. And in Padma Purana, Prabhupada writes, there is Padma Purana, they says there is no difference between the sound Hare Krishna and Krishna the person. So Krishna here in Brahma, he actually sees, he heard the instruction from Lord himself, just within his heart. And then Brahma went back to his own abode, and everyone actually went to their own palaces. And Krishna, with his full potency, as we discussed the full potency, the 6 opulences, he appeared as the son of Vasudeva. And therefore, all the wives of demigods, they have appeared in Brajabhumi to take the instruction of Krishna and to satisfy him. And previous to the appearance of Lord Krishna, the Sankarshan, Balram has actually appeared. And Krishna, what happened? I think that's coming back, but let me take it here. So, and Krishna actually has asked or requested to Vishnu Maya or Maya Devi. He said that, you will also have to appear there, and you have to take one work or Shiva, like, you have to transfer Balaram from the womb of Mother Devaki to the Mother Rohini. So those Shivas, she said, I am incapable, but as you are instructing me, so I will be doing that as per your instructions. And Prabhupada writes about the two things. He says that Maya one is called as Yoga Maya and one is called as Mahamaya. Whatever we know is that we just say that Maya, but actually these are two things. One is Yoga Maya, one is Mahamaya. How it happens? So Yoga Maya, Mahamaya, Prabhupada explained that how can we understand it? Is basically one, it acts on the instruction of Krishna as a for, and the other one, he deviates us towards material nature. So it's like, heat, right? Electricity. So if you use the electricity is same, we can use the electricity to generate heat in the iron, isn't it? When we switch on the iron, it gets hot. But the same electricity is also being used to make a cooler or ice. So the same electricity being used for heating as well as cooling. In the same way, the same Maya has his two parts. Either we want to enjoy this material world, then Mahamaya will take care. Or if you want to enjoy with the Krishna, then Yoga Maya will take care over there. Right. And Prabhupada said, Yoga Maya, he helps with our devotion, and Mahamaya, it actually entangles us in this material world. And then after that, Prabhupada, it goes explaining that, at that time, the Surasena was actually chief of Yudha dynasty. He was actually enjoying Mathura over there. And then the Vasudeva, he was actually, he went to marry Devaki, the daughter of Devak. So when he went to marry Devaki, so the marriage has happened very nicely, and he was given so many, what we say, nowadays we say it's dowry, but earlier it was because of affectionate to their daughter, they used to give so many things. And that Bhagavatam describes that it was given as 400 elephants nicely decorated with golden garlands. Imagine it. And then 10,000 horses, 18,000 chariots, and 200 very beautiful young maidservants. So they were fully decorated with ornaments. So even in earlier ages, when the king is to get married, so many maidservants, they used to come with the queen as well, so to help her in many things, and they used to get so many things as as dowry. But today's in the world, this has all changed, and now is the person they asked for dowry. Earlier they used to give because of affection, but now they are asking for dowry. So that's a different thing. And after that, the Kansa was actually his cousin brother of Devaki. So he wanted, even now also we have Pratha that, once the marriage happens, so one of the family member of the female side, they actually goes towards the her in-laws house just for a couple of days, and then sees that okay, everything is all good, and then comes back. The same Pratha is still there. And at that time, Kansa wanted to drive in the chariot of and taking with Devaki and Vasudeva. And he heard about an woman. And there it says, You foolish rascal, the eighth child of the woman you are carrying will kill you. So he heard that voice from the sky, and that the he was so happy that I'm taking my sister. But as soon as, because he was demon in nature, and he will actually present his father as well. So just because by hearing this, his demonic nature, or it got involved, and very strongly, without thinking anything, he just dragged Devaki's hair. He caught Devaki's hair and dragged, and about to just took out his sword to kill her. And then Vasudeva has newly married, and it's duty of a husband to protect his wife in every conditions. And then Vasudeva actually tried to pacify Kansa in many different ways. First, he glorified. He said, my dear brother-in-law, you are a pride of your family, the Vajra dynasty, and you are great heroes. So you should not be killing a woman, and or even that's your sister, also in the occasion of your marriage. It's not wise for you, and what people will think about this. So all the things he tried to pacify, by saying good words and everything. But as, and even he's tell, why are you worrying about the small child gonna kill you? Everyone has to die, and we just give our body, but the soul never dies. And he tried to pacify in a very, very different way. He also said that, as a worm on a vegetable transfer itself to one leaf and then gives up to the previous one, in a similar way our body takes another body and gives up the one we had before, and our changes of the body is flickering. And he tried to give us all the spiritual knowledge to Kansa, but it didn't work. Prabhupada explains here that one must be free from all designations. I'm American, I'm Indian, I'm this and I'm that, and come to the platform of understanding that Krishna is the original master and we are his servant, eternal servant. And this, Prabhupada said that this, just by engaging our senses in Krishna Katha, we get purified. So Vasudeva, he tried to explain in many, many details way and try to save her newly married wife, but it looks not to be happening. And then at the end, he says, I give you a promise that you are having actually fear from the son. So I am giving you a promise that I will give my sons to you as soon as they get born. Right. So this was the last option. He actually contemplated. He thought a long time, and then he thought there is no option to save my wife now. So right now it's my duty to save my wife in any condition, and let's see whatever it comes later on. So that he saw, but now Kansa got pacified. He said, okay, because Vasudeva he's known for his words. He has never gone wrong to his words. That's why he said, okay, that's fine. Then if you are happy to give me all the sons as soon as they are born, so I leave you. And then he left him. So similarly, then sequentially, as time passes, the first son is being born. The first son is being born, and Prabhupada writes about that, we should be like celebrating these things, Namakarana also should be there by going to the astrologer and asking about what is this, what should be giving a name and all those things. Prabhupada writes over there. And then, as said, as the words given to Kansa, then Vasudeva, he took his child. And he took the child very young, 3-4 days, and he went to his to Kansa and said, okay, as per my words, here is the son unto your service. And then Kansa was happy at the time and said, okay, wow, he kept his words. So he thought, okay, this child cannot do anything to me. So you take him back, and we'll see later on. And at the time, Narad Muni came up. And Narad Muni came up to make some disturbances over here. And Narad Muni says, because there's a plan of Krishna is something different. So Narad Muni knew it, and all the Devatas, they instructed, Narad Muni, please you go and save everything now, change the plan. And then Narad Muni said, once the great Saint Narada approached Kamsa and said that, how the demonic persons who were a great burden on the earth were going to be killed. Thus Kamsa was placed into great fear and doubt. He said that, Vishnu is actually, he can tweak anything. And any person, he told that, every, the persons in Gopa in the Vrindavan, they are actually Devi Devatas. So you never know who can come in the form of Vishnu. He told that, all the members of Yadu dynasty were demigods, and that any of the children born of the womb of Devaki might be Vishnu. And some devotee explains in a very nice way. He says, you take a bunch of grape, on one hand, and take one grape and count for the others 8. So, and change the one and count 8. So you can't say that one is the 8th son. So in the similar way, and he actually made fear to Kansa. And by hearing that, Kansa arrested back to Vasudeva and Devaki, chained them in the iron circles, and suspecting this child to be Vishnu, Kansa killed him. He threw the small baby, on a big rock, and then gradually he actually killed one by one 6 childs. All right, and in a similar way, he killed all the 6 child. So that is how actually we finished chapter 1, and from next week we will continue from here. Right. So that is what kind of conclusion of chapter 1. I don't want it to be go more elaborate or even cut down something. So how do you feel? Is it okay, or I was slow or fast, or?
There were many things which I was not aware of, Krishna sent across the gods, the demigods on the land.
Yeah.
I was not aware of this fact.
Okay, now so that when we understand more detail, we get more things. There also I missed one thing here. Actually, is being said and described that So how can we go and serve Krishna? It should be some practice, isn't it? Let's suppose a doctor needs to practice something in his lab, and actually he goes to do operation or cesarean, isn't it? Or anything, surgery and all those things. He had some practice, but how, as we haven't practiced well here, how can we go to Vrindavan and serve him? So it's I think in one of the chapters there, Prabhupada explains that when we so when we actually start hearing about Krishna, when we actually develop some bhakti about Krishna in our next life, Krishna, see, interesting thing. So Krishna's Lila is unlimited. Right now, 5,000 years back, Krishna did it here, where we see. But right now as well, in some other universes, Krishna Lila is going on. So what happens? So when we are actually attracted towards doing service to Krishna, to keep that service mood grow more intense, when we leave our body, Krishna gives us a birth to us in that universe where Krishna is doing pastime. So there we came and we associate with Krishna, we do enjoy with him, we serve him, and that intense love will grow. And after that, we go to Vaikuntha Loka, so that we can actually serve Krishna in a more way. Right. So these are the many tricks and things we miss when we go in a different way. But when we go into sloka by sloka and understand this deeper meaning, that really has much more things to understand and know. Right. So that is why it says, Srimad Bhagavatam is limited. As much time we read, we get some more and more things. But I'm trying to get as much as things to discuss here. Any more suggestions and comments, or how it went? Is it a bit fast, or is it understandable, or we're getting something? Because when you give some comments and compliments, it's basically it's for me to improve more and more, understand the things very well.
It is going good, Prabhuji. The phase and what you are saying, right? We can visualize when you are telling the story. So if we visualize that, then please consider it is going good.
Wow, that's a great point you actually came up. So it's always been said, when you can visualize the things, it's like that's nice point. Let me elaborate a bit more on that. So suppose you go to watch a movie, right? So what you do on the movie, you visualize it. You actually start feeling the emotions hero or heroine or the villain does, and according to that emotion, either you shout or you cry or you enjoy, isn't it? So that is how, when we feel a 3 hours movie, we enjoy a lot. So similarly, when in this katha or in this Krishna pastimes, when we think ourselves, actually we are in that pastime, we understand and enjoy a lot as well. So that's a very nice point you made. So that is the way to understand Krishna, getting absorbed in what we are hearing on that. Thank you, Sikari. Thank you very much for giving a nice point here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I'll take pardon, and thank you everyone for joining it. And if you are actually enjoying it, so as is a new series started, you can actually invite your friends as well to come and join and hear the talks. And it's nearly we'll go on to not more than one hour, so that's kind of that. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.